Oh, hey guys, didn't see you there. Just been hanging out all day in the Ridgewater plumbing program, learning everything we can. If you want to learn more about this, stick around. We're going to learn how to do everything that you see inside this room and how things like this work. Action. All right, everyone, we're here with Dave Stray, our awesome faculty for the plumbing program on the Wilmer campus. Dave, how you doing today?
I'm really good, thanks.
Well, thanks for having us here. I'm going to learn a lot about plumbing today. I'm looking forward to it. So when I think about plumbing, generally I always think about it in this side of like you have a problem, and so you need to call a plumber. That's kind of a narrow scope to it. There's this whole other side of construction and the things you kind of have to understand when you're building out a new system. Can you talk a little bit about what we're going to kind of look at today in that regard?
For sure. A lot of people think of plumbing only when they need help. So the service side of plumbing, and that's not really what it is. That's a small portion. There's a lot of cool buildings, a lot of cool projects with a ton of piping, a lot of money involved. And it's really cool. A big misconception is you just run around and unclog things all day. So I've been a plumber over 20 years. I've never unclogged anything my whole life. So but there are companies that do that, and there's companies. It just depends on what you like. I like big projects, stuff like that.
Yep. So you did plumbing for 20 years, and then you came when this program started, right?
Yes,
and
correct.
That was how many years ago?
This is our third year. So we started with an empty shop, nothing, no tools, anything. Had 6 students. Last year we had 14, and now this year we're up to 24. So we're growing, we're going in the right direction. So I'm very excited about it.
That's great to hear. Right now it's only on the Wilmer campus as we're getting started.
Yep, correct. Yep.
Awesome. Sweet. Well, you're going to show us some stuff in plumbing, some demonstrations?
Yeah,
All right,
sure.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, Dave, here we are looking at a few different materials. Why don't you tell us like what we're looking at and why we start here?
Okay, this is kind of where we start. We have a basic plumbing procedures class, so we learn how to connect all the different types of materials. We start with a couple different kinds of PEX. So this is a PEX B, and we have a PEX A. And then we transition, we go to different types of copper. We solder some copper. We do compression fittings. We do some flare fittings. And then we go to threading pipe. We have some pipe threaders that we thread different pipes for gas lines, etc. We have cast iron pipe. We have a couple different kinds of flexible gas lines that we install. Just learn. We do all these things. We do a little T here kind of so we can air test it when we start with our basics. And then we go PVC. We do a lot of PVC here. A big part of plumbing, drain, waste, and vent, etc. Stuff like that.
Awesome. So this is kind of where students start out, just when they first come into the introduction for the program, start to look at different material types, kind of get a handle on how, there's a kind of a vast array of applications that you're going to be entering into.
For sure. We just show them the basics just so we can get started, and then we move over to the walls where we're building more things, etc.
Okay, and in the walls we're using a lot of PVC, right?
A lot of PVC,
All right, so we're gonna head over there, it sounds like, and look at sort of what they would jump into next?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, let's do it. All right, so we're here in probably more of the hands-on stage of the program. So a typical exercise would be something like this where you might, map it up on a whiteboard. Students behind us are then trying to replicate that in the real world.
For sure. So here we have just a kind of a typical bathroom. We have 2 labs. I have a little drawing here with 2 labs, and we have a water closet vent or a toilet vent and the pipe sizes with a few measurements. And then students are simulating that. Everybody has their own 8-foot wall space where they're simulating roughing in a certain thing. We have it designed where the bottom part will hold air, so then they're going to air test it, then they're going to cut it out. Once we're done, once we inspect it all, we'll figure out if it's good, we'll cut it out, and then we'll repipe something else. We'll just keep, as much as we can do with our hands is better.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's take a walk down here and you can kind of show me what some of the students are doing.
Sounds good. So here we're just doing exactly that. He's working off the blueprint. He's got all his pipes and materials. Once he's complete, we're going to air test it. We're going to make sure there's not primer all over everything. We're going to make sure that the work is professional, looks good. And then we're going to, like I said, inspect it, grade it, because that's part of this, is we're going to get grades. And then we're going to cut it out and start over.
Well, it seems like he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
This must be an A student.
Yep,
Yeah.
A student for sure.
Yep.
One of our students, about 30% of our students are working part-time right now.
Okay.
So he is one of them that
Yeah.
has a job the other days when we're not in school.
Yep.
So yeah, he does a really good job.
Yeah, and which days are the classes usually on? Do they run 5 days a week?
So our classes, we have a unique program where it's Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Okay.
And we built the program in hopes that Monday, Thursday, Friday the students could work if they wanted to.
Yep.
So it's very nice. And like I said, about 30% of the class is working right now, those other days.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. All right, what else we got going on here?
So there's more students
thing.
piping
Yep.
different things. Yep.
Yeah.
Much of the
Awesome.
same. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Everybody works at their own pace.
Yeah, there's slightly different stages.
Yep. Yeah, just kind of how it is. They all have different ideas on how to do it.
Sure.
And there are a lot of different ways to do it, you know? For sure.
Do they tend to kind of ask questions of each other a little bit? Sometimes they're working so close together.
Definitely. They definitely rely on each other, which is very helpful. We had a student earlier at the board up front explaining to another couple students, which is helpful for me too because I have other things to do.
Sure.
But yep. Very helpful. For sure.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Well, this is clearly a time travel device. So what does this do in plumbing?
Yep, this is definitely not a time travel device, right? This is a threader. This is a rigid 300 machine.
Okay.
And we use it to thread pipes. We can thread gas lines. We can thread air lines. We can thread water lines.
Okay.
Etc.
Yeah.
But for today, we're going to use it for gas piping.
All right. And it's loud.
It's a little bit loud.
Rambunctious.
Yep.
That's great.
So with everything we do, we start out, we measure and we mark and we cut. Okay. So we're going to figure out how long of a piece we want here. We'll measure, we'll mark it.
Yep.
And then we'll cut it.
Okay. Awesome.
So we want to make
glasses
sure
on.
Safety, safety first.
We're good.
And we'll make sure everything's locked into place.
Okay.
We'll take this, make sure we're on our mark, and then we will tighten it up a little bit. This is the cutter that cuts the pipe.
Okay.
I got a little foot pedal at the bottom.
Yep.
Take this, and we just spin it. Just spin about a quarter turn, another quarter turn. Just kind of take it slow so we don't wreck the pipe.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we need to ream the pipe. So this particular threader has a reamer built in.
Okay.
So we click this and we're going to ream the pipe out. And that works good. So if it was a water line or something, we don't want to burr in there for the water to create turbulence and et cetera. Okay. Then we take our threading dies, flip that over. We have a little oil can and the stuff to catch that. Put a little oil on it. And we gotta just let the threader do the work.
Ah, yeah.
So when we get the die about one thread past, then we're gonna open it up and then we're gonna be done. We're about that spot. We'll just flip it open and like that.
Look at that.
And now we could gas pipe, we could water pipe, etc. But like I said before, we're gonna use this for gas piping.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The master class in pipe threading right there in 10 seconds.
Now we can all go make over 100K a year and be plumbers.
Yep. I feel like I'm ready.
Yep, for sure. We have a couple other different types of gas line that we use. We use a soft copper.
Okay.
And we'll flare the fittings on that.
Yeah.
We also have this. This is called gas type, but it's a flexible gas line.
Yep.
Has a stainless steel jacket on it that we run for that too.
Okay.
And with that, you can kind of see we have like a little simulation here where we did use the black pipe, we threaded it, and then we transitioned to the flexible gas line. And this would run throughout your house out to the meter.
Yeah.
And that's how that would go. So we just have students learn that we need a valve, we need a union, we need a little drip leg there, a sediment trap. And that's how the gas would work in your house. So then even in the wall spaces, we'll pipe a big project with the threaded pipe and air test it, make sure it's all good to go.
Yeah. And this is a lot of times it's the application of new construction, or if you just bought a new water heater.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. If you had another water heater, that's where the valve and the union comes in very handy. You can shut it off, take that loose, and then slide the new water heater in and reattach your gas lines, etc.
So at what point in the program would a student begin to get to this level and start to work with these things?
So in our second semester, we have an advanced plumbing procedures, which is where we do more of our threading.
Yep.
And then advanced plumbing installation. So we start to do more of that. We have a fixture class. And as part of that, in a troubleshooting class, that we look more at the water heaters, we take them apart, see if they're dirty, see why they're not working, we simulate leaks, etc.
Yeah. All right, so we're over here looking at some copper. What are we gonna do here?
So Victor's going to, he's gonna solder up a little copper stub out we're gonna use for a urinal later.
Yep.
And what he's gonna do is he's gonna measure, mark, and cut like we do everything. We have a couple different types of cutters. We have a Milwaukee cutter, we have hand cutters, we have a few other different kinds. So he's gonna cut it. Oh, he has a little procedure here. He knows how to do it, but sometimes I like to remind them.
Sure,
yep. He's gonna cut it. He's gonna ream and deburr it, so get rid of that water turbulence. Then he's going to use a little bit of sandcloth. He's gonna clean the ends. He's gonna put some flux on there, and then he's gonna go over and solder it up.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So then we're just going to use this in a project later.
Okay. Yep. And at what stage would someone start to jump into work like this in the program?
Right within the second week, I try to get people soldering.
Yep.
Yep. So as much hands-on as we can. The first semester, we're probably 60% book work, 40% hands-on.
Yep.
And the second semester, we flip that.
Okay.
So the first semester, we're doing a lot of safety, different items like that, and like the basic procedure class that this would be a part of.
Sure.
We would do things like that.
All right, so he's measured it, he's cut it.
Yep,
reamed
measured,
it.
marked, cut. Yep.
And then what's this
now he's going to put the flux on.
Okay.
The flux is going to.
It's like an adhesive.
Yeah, it's going to. It's going to bring the solder in there. The solder attaches to it, so it'll attach to the fitting.
All right.
And then we'll go over the tables and solder.
Okay.
We do a lot of solder projects around the room as well. Different. It's easier on a chain vise like this.
Yeah.
But once you get out to the walls, you're doing more positions where you have to do it in the vertical position, and the solder can run down.
Sure.
So we simulate a lot of that. So he's going to come over and solder this up. So he's just getting his pipe in there, getting everything clamped down in a good position to solder it. So now he's going to heat the pipe up all the way around, and then he's going to move his heat to his fitting. And so with the heat on the fitting, it's going to draw that solder into the joint.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So as soon as it starts to heat up, he'll pull his heat away.
Yep.
You can get it too hot and it'll burn all the flux out of it.
Okay.
So he's going to do that. Now he's going to hit up his other side. The other side's probably pretty close to warm. So he's going to heat the pipe a little, and then he's going to move it to the. Yep. It's already hot enough.
Yeah,
so
a little bit of finesse.
He's going to move that around. And that's it. Now we're going to let it cool completely.
Yep.
We're going to wipe it off. We're going to wipe that excess flux off so it doesn't corrode. It could corrode the pipe.
Yeah.
Must have saw a little spot that needed a little extra. And then we're good to go.
Awesome. All right, we're here with 3 students, Luke, Bergen, Steven, talking a little about the plumbing program. So you guys are in this program right now. What's your favorite project that you guys work on right now?
Mine would probably have to be soldering copper. Takes more skill than other things that we've done, so I just find that fun.
I'd have to agree. I like the soldering projects. I like the challenge of them, and you never know what's going to happen till it's done. So,
yeah, I agree with these two. My favorite part is also soldering. It's the most challenging and rewarding job.
Awesome. All right, and Dave's not around right now, so why don't you talk a little bit about the faculty and the program, kind of what that relationship looks like, support, things like that for prospective students that are looking at this program.
Every time that I come here every day, I look forward to it. It's been a blast. Great program. He's been a phenomenal teacher. Just done a great job.
I'd say I like this program. I'm not much of a school person, but I really look forward for this program. And I think the people, when I go work, my coworkers are just, be quiet, quit talking about programs so much, because I like it. I like Dave as teacher, and probably one of my favorite teachers I've ever had. So
Coming in the program, I didn't know much about plumbing, but I mean, Dave taught me pretty much everything I know about plumbing. He's a great teacher, and it worked out well.
Awesome. And then last question for anyone that's watching this that's maybe considering, like, I think this may be something I'm interested in. What kind of encouragement would you give to them?
I think plumbing's a great field. It's really hands-on, so if you love doing that it'll work out for you. I think it's a great program.
I have to agree with them. If you are interested or think you might enjoy it, give it a try. What you got to lose?
Yeah, same. I mean, if you like math, if you like to think, and you like being rewarded from hands-on work, it's the best.
Fellas, thank you. Appreciate your time. Glad you're enjoying the program. We'll chat soon. Well, here we are back here. That was a full day.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff.
for sure. Lots to look at.
Let's drill down a little bit more on the program from the student side, and then kind of expectations after graduation.
Okay.
So first of all, how long does the program take to complete for a full-time student?
Okay, so our program is 1 year.
Okay.
So
1 year
that's
program.
nice. Then students can get out and start
Yeah.
working. So
Yeah.
it's a 1 year program.
Okay, and at the end of that, awards and certifications, what does that usually look like?
So the students will receive Ridgewater Plumbing Technician Diploma. And then as part of our curriculum, we use NCCER,
Okay.
which is the National Center for Construction Education and Research, which is a lot to say.
Yeah.
But it's a nationally recognized curriculum. So students will come out of this with a core certificate, which it covers our basic construction knowledge, math, safety, hand tools, power tools. And then they'll get a level 1 plumbing certificate as well through NCCER, which is pretty much so like a first year apprentice would receive.
Okay,
Yep.
So that's a 1 year program.
Yep.
And you said is it Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Our program is pretty unique. It's Tuesdays and Wednesdays in person.
Tuesdays, Wednesdays.
Yep. Tuesdays and Wednesdays in person, and then I assign some reading, a couple quizzes to do back the following week. So they have that whole time to figure that part out, to get it done.
And then a lot of students in their spare time, you said, I think 30% are doing internships.
Yeah, so I have about 30% of our students right now that are working part-time, and that's why we designed the course the way we did with the 2 days a week, so they can get out and work.
Yep.
Because I'm going to teach them everything they need here with the code and the basics, but in the field they're going to learn speed, different tricks, etc. So, the students are able to work if they'd like to.
Yeah. What are we looking at for program cost?
So I think the cost is around $6,500 for tuition and books. So that's for the tuition and the books. We have 3 books. We have the 2 NCCER books and our Minnesota Plumbing Code book. And then for tools, when we started the program, I had a big tool list, and then I decided to take that out because I also was a young student without money, didn't want to buy tools. So I provide all the tools. We provide them all. So the students can be set up for a little bit of success.
It's huge value. Tools are expensive, man.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah. So then coming out of graduation, what jobs are students typically first entering into?
Okay, so as they work part-time right now, everybody's set up as a registered unlicensed plumber through the state of Minnesota. And that kind of starts their plumbing journey. And then they get hours each year. So essentially they start out as a first year apprentice when they go into the field. They need 4 years of on-the-job training, and then they can take a journeyman plumber's test.
Okay. So they'll come out of this, they'll continue doing that maybe for 3 more years, let's say, if they did 1 year.
Correct.
And then beyond that, where does the salary tend to land somewhere in there?
Okay. So our part-time students are working around $22 an hour, starting just part-time. Which you can make other places, but the room for growth is a lot higher. In the trades than if you're working a factory, etc. Basically, a journeyman in the state of Minnesota, the median is about $70,000.
Okay.
But I had several years, because I came from the field.
Yeah.
I had several years where I made $100,000 plus. So It just depends on where you work, what area,
Yeah.
et cetera.
Yeah, and if you look at it from an investment standpoint, $6,500 for that investment
Is
to
nothing.
come out the other end,
Yeah,
making
for
70
sure.
and
Yep.
maybe upwards of 100. Yeah, it's a great deal.
Yeah,
So
it is for sure. It's very, yeah, it is a really good deal.
yeah, and I assume because of the way that the internships work, and then also just with your experience in the field, there are some relationships outside of the program with other programming companies, things like that,
Yeah.
where these interns get placed.
Yeah, we have a lot of industry partners that we have good relationships with locally and throughout the state, because all of our students are from different areas. Not everybody's from the same place. So
Sure. Yep.
we rely on them for internships, some part-time jobs. We do get a lot of donations too from different contractors.
Oh, that's huge.
Stuff that we need.
Yeah.
There's a local plumbing supply house in town.
Yeah.
That's been very good. They give us very good prices because they say that these students are the future of the industry.
Yeah.
So anything they can do, they try to do to help.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, for sure. It's been very nice.
Awesome.
It's been very receptive.
Yeah. All right, last question. If I am a prospective student and I am interested in learning more about this program, what do I do?
You can stop by. You can stop by the Wilmer campus.
Yep.
You can hit up the website.
Yep.
There's a form on there you can fill out.
Yeah.
In the spring and the fall, we have a Discover Ridgewater where you can sign up to see different events.
Yep.
You can reach out to me directly, email. You can come in, tour our area, and see what it is you want to do.
Awesome. Well, there you have it, guys. That's our plumbing program here at Ridgewater on the Wilmer campus. If you're interested in this, reach out, come say hi to Dave, stop
come
by
on
the
in.
front desk, fill out a form on the website, whatever you want to do, and they'll get you hooked up.
Perfect.
Awesome.